Hello everyone, this is Ronnie, and in this video I want to talk to you about exercising for weight loss and why I feel that this is the wrong strategy. And the reason that this came up for me is that I saw someone uh, online. I guess they're looking to lose weight, and they were posting things about a challenge they were doing, and it was like an exercise challenge. And I'm sure there's other aspects to the challenge like diet and so on, but it from what I could see, it was a challenge about losing weight, maybe becoming more confident in your body and all that, and it was all to do with exercise. And I think this is completely wrong. I think this is a completely wrong focus. Not wrong to exercise if if you're losing weight. That's not what I'm saying, but to focus on exercise as if that is the thing that will make the difference, and it won't. And it's really simple mathematics. For you to lose a pound of fat, not water weight, not cooked food stuck in your body. I don't really think there's that much stuck in people's bodies, but people think there is. Um, and muscle mass does not will not be changing very quickly over time for anyone unless you're on steroids. And it doesn't matter if you fast; you're not going to lose a lot of muscle mass either, or not enough to see a big difference like that. Um, but what people are really trying to do is lose the fat on their body, and so you need to get clear on that. You're looking to lose the fat that's on your body, and a lot of people in the raw food world are like, "Oh, I'm full of acids and toxins and undigested foods," and no, you're looking to lose. Mostly, it's the fat, and that's fine. That's good. And it's good that your body stores fat. In a time of famine, in a time when there's no food, you have some extra stored food. It's just that we don't really need it at the moment for most people in the world. There are people starving in the world. I think millions of people die every year from starvation, literally millions in the world. We completely lose perspective on what life is like for a lot of people. Um, and so it's a good thing, that your body does that. And it's right that your body does that. It's just that we're now in a different environment where people have an unlimited amount of food and also eat the types of food that are easy to overeat, which are processed foods, mostly. And by processed food, I also mean animal products being a very processed food. So, exercise. If you think about how much exercise you have to do, so you have to be to lose, technically, scientifically, 1 pound of fat is 3,500 calories. 3,500 calories. So for your body to use up that 3,500 calories and use that to fuel your metabolism, you have to be in a deficit of 3,500 calories over the course of a week. That equates to 500 calories per day of a deficit. And that would mean for a person something like, on a raw food diet, eating 5 less bananas every day, eating 2 or 3 less mangoes every day, eating 2 less avocados, or 1.5 less avocados, depending on what you're eating. Eat like a handful less of nuts or something, a half bag of nuts less if you're eating a lot of nuts, a tablespoon of olive oil or something, like a very small amount of olive oil, maybe 2 tablespoons of olive oil, um, uh, 25 kilograms of vegetables, whatever, or greens. Anyone that's still trying to live on greens is doing it the wrong way, but um, that's what a calorie deficit or a food deficit would equate to. Not that difficult for for the average person, I would imagine, to eat 5 less bananas, 2 or 3 less potatoes. It's not a huge deal of food. But for you to exercise 500 calories a day deficit, or for you to eat the same amount that you always eat, but then add in an extra 500 calories a day of exercise. So this is on top of exercise you might be already doing. So let's say that with the lifestyle and the activity level you're at, you require 2,500 calories a day. With everything that you're doing right now, for you to remain eating the same amount, exactly the same amount, and lose weight with exercise, you need to exercise 500 calories of exercise every day, without one day off, in order to burn 1 pound of fat. Now, it depends on your level of fitness. If you're at that level of fitness and you have the time, because that's over an hour's worth of exercise a day. If you're at a very active job, that's probably the easiest way to do it. If you change to a very active physical job, you're probably going to lose some weight. If you're working for 7-8 hours a day physically, that's gonna work for you. But for you, if you're in an office job or a sedentary job or a computer job, and you're gonna then go to the gym after 7-8 hours of work and put in another at least an hour of pretty intense exercise, and you're already overweight, that's pretty tough. And it's pretty tough on the body, especially if you're doing stuff like running or something. Your best chances may be cycling, swimming, and you're going to be doing that at a fairly good level of intensity, or walking for, I don't have the exact statistics here or exact numbers, but I'm guessing at least over an hour to burn up 500 calories, and probably close to an hour and a half. And depending on the level of intensity, it could be even 2 hours. So you're talking about up to 2 hours of added exercise a day on top of what you're doing, in order to make that work, in order to lose 1 pound a week. Now, you might say, well, I only want to lose 0.1 pounds a week, and as long as you do that over time, you'll get there. Maybe you only have 5 pounds to lose. Well, that would make sense. That would make sense in that scenario, because then what you would do, you maybe only have to exercise a couple of times a week, and you'd eventually get there. You'd have to stay pretty consistent with your diet, of course, and not ever overeat. But of course, if you're overweight, you don't have a problem with that, do you? You don't have a problem with overeating if you're overweight. You do. So what you're going to try and do is to lose 1 pound. You're going to do 7 days of intense exercise and not eat any more. Really, think about that. You're going to do 7 days of over an hour of exercise added. You're probably not that fit to start with if you're looking to lose weight. Maybe you are, but you're having to add on that, keep your diet where it is, not eat any more, and you're going to stick to that consistently, and that's going to be how you're going to lose weight. No, not a chance. Well, not a chance. I mean, it could happen. Another thing I want to say to you is this: just use a little bit of logic, use experience, use other people's experiences. This is a tremendous asset that we have in the modern world, amazing resource. We have millions of examples of other people to look at. If you want to lose weight through exercise, think about this. Go and put on a marathon, not the Olympic marathon. Just go and put on the New York Marathon, the London Marathon. Go and look at some of the highlights. Are all of the people in that marathon at their perfect weight? Now go and look at a public, bike race or triathlon, or different exercises. Go to a local park and see guys that are playing football all the time in the 7-a-side pitches and things like that. Go to your local gym. Go and look around the gym at the people that are exercising all the time. Go and look at your whatever tennis club, your swimming pool. Are all these people at their perfect weight? They're all exercising more than you. They're all exercising probably an awful lot. A lot of them are exercising all the time. They're not at their perfect weight. It's not the thing to focus on. Look at marathon runners, people 26 miles. Do you know how much training they have to do? Have a look through the crowd. There are people that are very overweight running marathons, and good on them. But if you're on a weight loss process, you can't look to them for inspiration. And they probably have lost a little bit of weight. Eddie Izzard, the comedian, he ran 50 marathons in 50 days. He was still overweight at the end of it. 50 marathons in 50 days. Not that he was a really obese guy, of course he wasn't, but he didn't look like a marathon runner. He was overweight. Not grossly, not, he looked normal for the average person in the world, but that is an overweight size. His BMI was probably still in the unhealthy range from running 50 marathons in 50 days and training for that before that. So a lot of people use exercise as an excuse to eat more, as an excuse to eat what they want, because they think it's protective. It ain't. Exercise doesn't protect you. Very little. It's a fantastic part of life. It's a fantastic part of health. Your body's meant to be moved. You're meant to be active. Get your heart rate up. Undoubtedly. But do not put it on the same level as diet. Do not put any of these health activities they're not in the same league. Diet is the Premier League. Everything else is somewhere down, maybe League 2, League 3, Vauxhall Conference. That's a reference that people outside of the UK won't get. but honestly, the diet is the thing to focus on. The main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. And the main thing to focus on is your diet. It's like if you run a car showroom or whatever. You run a car showroom and you've got to keep the I don't know, you've got to keep the air conditioners working, and you've got to have the coffee machine working, and you've got to make sure the sign looks right, and you're doing whatever, you're donating money to charity as part of it, you're putting up signage, you're doing all these different things as part of operating your car showroom. But the main thing is to sell cars. That is the main thing you need to focus on. If you're not selling cars, the rest of it is pointless. The whole purpose of the whole thing is for you to sell cars, right? So that's that's the thing you go in every day. You focus on that before anything else. Are we selling any cars? And if you are, then you can go and look at other things. If you're not selling any cars, then to go and start painting and doing different things, well, that's not the thing to really work on. Does it make a difference? Yeah. Does it make the place look nice? Yeah. But is the place going to collapse and fall apart if you don't do it? No. It's the selling the cars part is the important thing. So when it comes to your health, you've got to think the same way. What's the main priority thing? And the main priority things for me are to avoid disease. This is the main thing. Avoiding chronic disease, avoiding obesity is important as well. Feeling really good every day, having enough energy. These are the main things, and the biggest thing towards all these is your diet. And maybe sleep is the only thing that is high up. Sleep and rest. But exercise isn't the same as sleep and rest and activity. It's essential for optimal health. But we're trying to let's get to the basic level first. Let's get to a basic foundation. Basic foundation, get your diet right. At the very least, plant-based with no processed food, no junk food. Ever. That's got to be the basic standard. Eliminate the salt, eliminate the oil, eliminate the sugar, you don't need all that stuff. You don't need restaurant foods. You don't need takeaway foods. You don't need processed foods. I don't mind some raw processed foods, like some raw kale chips. These things are processed. You put something in a dehydrator, it's a process. You make a salad, it's kind of a processed food in a way. It's still whole foods, but in a way it is. There's nothing, I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with that, but I'm just saying have a higher standard. Get to a higher standard. You don't have to go and eat in the restaurant with people. You can still go to the restaurant, but you don't have to eat the same thing that they're eating. The main thing is to focus on diet. Really is the critical thing. Get that right first. once you've made those transitional changes and you're not going back, you're not having cheese now and again, you're not having a coffee once in a while, um, you're not you're not having animal products just because someone offered it to you. I've had people that say I'm a vegan, but if someone offers me something, I'll have it. Well, that's wrong. It should be no. You need to show an example to other people as well. That's the one chance you've got to show an example. When they offer you something, do you want this garbage? If you say, yeah, I'll accept the garbage because our friendship means something to me, that's wrong. It's like, I don't know. But some people they just want other people's approval. You need to get rid of that. If you want to be healthy, if you want to live your own life, other people's approval. Like, other people's poor standards. Don't let them reflect on you. Get around people that don't let you do that to yourself. I wouldn't. Well, I mean, not that I would stop you, but I certainly wouldn't stop you, but I wouldn't go along with you. And if you ask me, should I do this, I'd be like, no. No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't eat cheese because someone offers you cheese. Of course not. It doesn't matter if it's your grandmother and she always gave you cheese once a year from her farm and she's such a kind lady. If you want to be kind to her, you tell her, I'm not eating cheese and you shouldn't eat cheese. It's a clear line. I'm sad that people mistake kindness and empathy with their own weakness and desire for approval and their own fear of causing conflict, fear of causing drama, fear of causing controversy. And really that's just you saying, I want these people to like me, I want to feel good, I want to be, just looking after you. All these other people are going to suffer because you're not going to step up and say, hey, here's what I've learned and you can make these changes. Anyway, that's gone off topic a little bit, but so getting back to this situation of a person with a 2,500 calorie diet. So let's say you do stay at the exact same diet for a week, add in over an hour of cardiovascular exercise a day to get you up to 500 calories a day, and you lose the pound at the end of the week. Are you going to be able to do that consistently? Maybe some people can, especially if, once again, if you've been put in a physical job, that's the one example you can probably do it, where you've got a team and a person telling you to do it and you're getting paid for it and you have to do it. So it's not you forcing yourself, it's you with a team and a manager and all that. That might be the best way of losing weight, actually. Go and get a physical job. I don't care if you're a lawyer or an analyst or a investment person or a banker or whatever. Like, go and work on a farm for a bunch of time. Take the pay cut and get yourself healthy. Maybe that is the best way of losing weight, but realistically, a lot of people aren't going to stick to that. It is much easier to eat a calorie deficit. Much more realistic. That doesn't mean that people do it. It's still easy not to do it. People still don't do it, but it's much easier. Much easier. You'll get a result much quicker. The other thing is this. So let's say after a month you've lost 4 pounds, and this is the real thing about weight loss. After a month you've lost 4 pounds, and for some reason you can't exercise as much, or you get injured, or you don't feel it, or you don't want to do it, whatever. How easy is it for you to gain those 4 pounds back? Well, it's as easy as eating in excess of 500 calories on the diet that you did over a week, which is an extra. Well, let's go to processed foods, which is an extra couple of tubs of ice cream, couple of bags of nuts, couple of really oily dishes, some fried food, a bunch of fried food dishes, a couple of fast food dishes, only a few to get up to 3,500 calories of excess. It's not that much. And could a person go into like way more than that? Gain £2 in a week, gain £3 in a week, gain £4 in a week? Yeah, it can be done. People can eat in excess of 1,000 calories a day and gain £2 a week fairly easily. Can people eat 2,000 calories of excess a day? Gain £4 in a week? Yeah, and as you start to gain weight, you don't feel good, you don't get active, your activity level comes down, that excess goes up, you eat more food to compensate. So easy. So easy. The thing you want to control is your eating. Because if you don't control your eating and you fall off your exercise, but you've not learned to control your eating, it's so easy for you to gain the weight back. So easy, and one of the mistakes, like the Russell 4 program, which was like eat as much as you like, eat as much carbohydrates as you like. Well, you're not going to lose weight doing that. You might get fit and you might get fit and healthier and fitter, but you ain't going to lose weight. You're only going to lose weight in a calorie deficit. So the idea with that plan is, what you're going to do is you're going to eat so many carbohydrates, you're going to feel so energized, you're going to exercise so much that you're going to go into, no, that can't work. It doesn't work. But that's not really what people were doing, because eating just rice for dinner is not what people do. I don't care what you think. So people would eat all the fruit they wanted, all the rice, all the bread, all the whatever, and then they'd eat loads of vegan junk food. That's what Russell 4 actually was for most people, and they gained masses of weight, predictably. Because none of them were really following it. They wouldn't have gained a lot of weight if they just stuck to carbohydrates, but they wouldn't have lost any weight. So you want to lose weight, it's all about controlling, it's all about putting yourself in a calorie deficit, controlling that over time. Yes, it's about limiting yourself, restricting yourself. Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? Isn't that terrible? Well, what you're actually being restricted by is your excess weight. That's way more restrictive. You only have to do this for a relatively short period of time in your life. You lose £1 a week in a year, you've lost £50. It's massive. It makes a massive difference to you over the rest of your life. So, exercise is not the thing to focus on. It's definitely something to do to be healthy, but it's not the thing to focus on for weight loss. Thank you for watching me today. Put your comments below. Let me know what you think. Feel free to get in touch. Feel free to ask me to do a video on anything you want. And I hope to see some of you at the festival this year. We're definitely going to make it happen, hopefully. And if you want some help with coaching and stuff, I'll put my link below. Thank you very much.